俺たちは35番目のスーパー戦隊だが海賊だからな。
お前みたいな気に入らないやつは
力の限りぶち潰す。豪快ジェッジ。豪快レッド。豪快ブルー。
豪快イエロー。
豪快グリーン。
豪快ピンク。
豪快シルバー。海賊戦隊豪快だ。
And this episode is nothing but badass moments. Honestly, this episode is just pretty much a 22-minute long fight scene. Or at least 21 or 27-minute long fight scene. And man, does this start off with a bang. Now, of course, I didn't review episode 51 because I'm going to include it here. Because it both flow in so nicely, it's almost seamless. Again, this might as well have just been one huge movie. And I kind of like that feel of it. To where it almost doesn't feel like you're watching a TV show, but more of a movie where it's just this huge climax. And I'm actually loving it. I'm digging it. Anyway, what happened to in episode 51, of course, was the Gokaiger were attacked by the Zangyack and their new armada. Or fleet, whatever you want to call it. And, of course, the Gokaiger get into their mechs and start fighting them off. Using almost every ultimate power, except for the Car Ranger power and the Turbo Ranger power, which I don't think they had the Turbo Ranger power, but I don't know. But they do use the Mega Ranger power, which goes to the Gojujin, allowing it to fly. And after kicking ass and taking names, turns out the Zangyack had even more of an army, so they don't get to kick ass as much anymore. Since they were taken down so quickly, though, it was a badass battle, and I mean a very badass battle. My father hates, almost disdains everything Power Rangers or Super Sentai alike, even though I've tried to tell him they're two different things. He actually saw me watching this on my iPad, yes, I watched it on my iPad, and actually stopped short to watch this episode. That's how cool and badass it was. Now, after the giant mech battle, the mechs are actually heavily damaged, not destroyed, by the remaining armada, seeing through their tricks and the ultimate powers, not allowing them to use them anymore. So, on the ground, the Gokaiger are going around helping people, running into, which results into Guy running into the Zhou Ranger, or the Black Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as we know him, or Power Ranger guys know him, and actually learning that the Super Sentai are needed on Earth, no matter what. And then we cut away before they have the rest of the conversation, which we'll bring up later. Of course, the other Kaizoku Sentai are going around helping people as they can, running into all the past side characters and human characters that were there before, like the little girl and the mom with the new baby, and the little boy who stole the Shinken Red key, Ranger key and tried to use it against the other Zangyack guy. I forgot his name. So those are good homages and good little nods going, yeah, we remember there were humans in this show. And it gives the Kaizoku Sentai the motivation to keep going. It actually gives them an idea that, yeah, the Super Sentai have gone through a lot and have saved the world hundreds of times. We don't need the ultimate power, even though Guy protests and actually thinks that they should use the ultimate power to take down the Zangyack, but ends up deciding against it and destroys it himself. Which I still say you could have kept it around, but it was an emotional scene, highly emotional, and I could see somebody in a good high emotional state destroying something like that. So, honestly, I can let that go. Now, on to episode 51, because after that, it's pretty much that red guy, I still haven't learned his name, comes down to Earth saying that they are going to destroy Earth now because they had let the humans revel in fear for one day and one day only, and the Armada comes back to destroy the rest of Japan. Episode 51. They destroy the rest of Japan. Or they are destroying the rest of Japan. Without the Gokaiger having any of their mechs, they have to come up with a new plan to get up there and stop the Zangyack army. But how are they going to do that when on the ground, that red guy's still there, comes back and is starting to wreak havoc, and is starting to fight the Gokaiger, keeping them busy on the ground. But every time the Gokaiger start to gain an upper hand, he calls in the fleet to try to shoot them down. And using this to their advantage, they decide to, actually, they are about to get shot. And of course, Na'vi, out of fuck nowhere, comes in with Bosco's ship, the Free Joker, or the Rogue Joker, I forgot the name of the ship. It comes in with the ship, protecting the Gokaiger, which was pretty interesting to me. I almost forgot Bosco had a ship of his own, so that was cool. But anyway, and Bosco's ship, I don't know what he did to it, but he tricked that mother out. This thing is taking on lasers from an entire army, and the shields are repelling damn near everything. Almost nothing can get through these fucking shields, and it's fucking impressive to me. So, what did they do? The Gokaiger decide to split up, sending Captain Marvelous and Guy up to the Zangyack, up into the Free Joker with Na'vi, to where they can go up to the Great Horse, go inside, and kill the Emperor, while the other four stay down and try to fight off his henchman right-hand man dude. So, with this plan, they do that. And Captain Marvelous comes up with a perfectly logical plan to get into the Great Horse. Ram the fucking ship into the ship. I like this plan for them. Just ram the ship into the other one. Who the fuck cares? We'll get in, won't we? And of course, this is the part where I'm about to say, man, fuck being a henchman. Fuck it. Because now is the time where all the henchmen who have had personality throughout this season probably should have cashed in their checks and just gotten out of the army. Because damn, do they die hard. Each Zangyack soldier, Go means, Sugo means, Dogo means, go down in almost one hit. Everybody going down like fucking dominoes. As Captain Marvelous and Guy turn into Gokai Red and Gokai Silver and just cut a slough through all these douche maggots, getting up to the command chamber as the four below fight the right-hand dude. And they're losing too, so don't worry. We'll get back to them later. And as they get up to the main chamber where the Emperor is, they kill everybody in the main chamber. 2 Gomins and 2 Dogomins. So there was only like 4 people in there. Anyway, he was first alarmed, standing up in his chair, and then he just kind of goes, nah. And in the most badass fashion ever, he proceeds to fight both Gokai Silver and Gokai Red while sitting in his chair. This guy's a badass. I love this Emperor. Unlike Wazugil, I don't even remember his name. Though I only address him as the Emperor, this guy is badass. I may not remember his name, but fuck, I remember his look, his attitude, and his fighting style. He is a badass motherfucker. He uses every part of his body to his advantage. He has spiked braces. He uses that to his advantages. He uses his quick speed and strength. He actually feeds off of power. So attacks literally power him up. Or at least that's what I think, because that's what he said. He's like, I'll just feed off the power from your final wave. And I was like, huh. No wonder he can kick so much ass. And of course, the fight ensues. Of course, Gokai Silver goes gold mode and distracts the Emperor. Actually, the Emperor hurting gold mode, which is the first time this has ever happened in the season. While Captain Marvelous gets to the controls, while Gokai Silver keeps him busy, he gets to the controls and destroys the entire armada. Now, this is both psychologically horrible and horrible, because now all those Gomins are now watching their own Emperor shoot them out of the sky. This distracting the right-hand man The other Gokaigers take advantage of this, turning into the different Six Rangers, Dekamaster, that sword from Gokaiger, Maji Mother, and Shinken Red, the girl version. And kicking his ass, killing him, and using a Gokai Galleon Blast to finish him off with a blue charge. Now, as Gokai Red and Gokai Silver are fighting the Emperor up in the ship, they decide to shoot the controls, bringing the ship down to the ground. Therefore, everybody thinking they're dead, but they're not, and then they rejoin the group, and of course, the Emperor's still fucking alive because he has as many lives as fucking Frieza. And, of course, that's when we get the helmetless henshin, and probably the most badass battle I have ever seen. This was epic upon epicness. They do so many Gokai changes. They do so many attacks. They even go super mode, where it's Dekamaster. You have Gokaiger in their ultimate form. I don't know the name. I never really watched Gokaiger. Super Geki Danger, which was badass to me. The Shinkenger ultimate form. Again, I really didn't get to watch that one full way through, so I don't know the name too well. And, of course, Gokai Silver, Gold Mode, and somebody else that I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting. And, man, that was a badass fight. This fight really shows the urgency of this fight. They don't let up on a single Gokai change. As each one goes, jumping, running, hitting faster and harder, they're Gokai changing each time. They're not stopping, taking this guy down. Hell, it's so fast that you can't even hear the announcements of the names of the teams they're turning into. With this badass finisher, where that shows the Gokaiger symbol, and it hits him, and then all the swords go in, and then he's still not fucking dead. And of course, it ends with Gokai Silver stabbing the fucking Gokai Galleon Buster in the bastard, which I always thought that spike was just decorative, but no, it could stab into you. And blasting him point blank with a super special blast. It's called the Showstopper Blast. And killing the bastard for once. Finally killing him, they the Gokaigers celebrate. And it cuts to months later as the newspaper, that is a galactic newspaper that shows up in Japan for some reason, shows that the Zangeist having most of their Emperor and his heir, and most of their army being destroyed. Unlike Star Wars, their armies are still around, but they're weakened, and they're dissipating, but they're not all completely dead. Unlike in Star Wars, where they just blow up the Death Star, and we win. Anyway, of course, so now the Gokaiger have to ask Captain Marvelous, where are we going to go now? What are we going to do? And Captain Marvelous says, we're going to the Zangeist home planet and kill off these motherfuckers for good. Yeah, that's a badass right there. So the Gokaiger go off, returning the Ranger keys back to everybody else, keeping their own, and finally just leaving off into the sunset. Do I have to tell you the rating to these two fucking episodes? Okay, fine. I'll tell you. 20 out of 10 for the both of them. This was a suspenseful, actiony, good story, very good emotional scenes, and actually pretty good writing in all things considered. There are very few complaints I can make, if any, and half of them are just continuity mistakes and things that most people wouldn't even fucking notice. So, honestly, I love this season, and I can't believe that it's ended. But oh well. Until next time, y'all, with Go Busters and that other unofficial Sentai team, which I will get to. Oh, trust me, I will. Peace.
新番組木名戦隊ゴーバスターズ。
ひらめ、始まったぞ。戦いが始まった。
バーグラスの皆さん、抵抗はご自由に。
リュウジ、ついに来た。
シャットダウンさせてもらうから。
うちの陽子は心配なし。
さあフェスタの始まりです。
俺は戦って勝ってまた戻ってくるよ。
2月26日日曜朝7時30分スタート。
バスターズレディー。
この番組は楽しい時を作る企業バンダイとご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りしました。